ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Hell's Paradise. Now, this episode, we finally have a fight continuation from the last episode here, but I feel it was more focused on Sagiri finding her conviction, finally being able to accept herself and the way she wants to move forward in life, and also how much the relationship between her and Gabimaru is improving. And of course more Yuzuriha, and I love her every time she's on screen. I feel like she steals the show. I have a big suspicion on Senta, but the most curious thing that happened in this episode was the discovery they made at the end with actually two discoveries, which makes everything so much more mysterious. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, at the beginning we get some flashbacks with the giant Rokurota, and kind of makes sense the more you see him, the way he's acting, with him being a kid there, and seeing his parents and kid around him, and even more later in the episode, he's just a giant baby, like an actual giant baby throwing a tantrum right now. It felt like they were fighting a bit like Attack on Titan versus Titan over here, teaming up against him, and Sagiri learned breath techniques from Demon Slayer. I don't think, how can I put this, expected him to talk, but this also makes it a bit more interesting with him just being a literal giant baby, but we'll see. Now we have Genji, which I gotta give him credit. This episode he was a much better character, or he finally saw the light in a way. He even was the one that pushed Sagiri away from the last scene in the episode, when he got his lower body half was almost chopped in half. He was sent flying over there. You knew he was going to die, but we're gonna get to him. Now we have Rokurota going after Sagiri, and Gabi jumps in to save her. Now, Gabi kind of struggled with this fight, honestly. He was getting overpowered. All of his techniques weren't really working properly. He even started... this one actually made me laugh a bit when he remembered another rule. Analyze enemies' abilities. Let's see how powerful he is. And right as he said that, you have Rokurota just tearing up an entire tree and throwing it at them, and it goes very far. So he has more than super strength there. You got your analysis. Kowalski did his job. Now, like I said, I really like Yuzuriha, Gabi asking her for help, and she's like, and in the background you see Senta there in the tree with kunais. But what she said, it was pretty funny. I'm just here for the information side. I gather information, you deal with the fighting. And she started cheering on him. Gabi, you can do it. I love you, Yuzuriha. But now back with the fight. Yes, Gabi was struggling. He even actually had to dodge the fist because he sensed instinctively that he couldn't take that fist there. He started going through a lot of techniques, throwing stones at projectiles, making a cloth into a sort of blade, like a steel with technique. Nothing was really working against Rokurota. It felt like he was fighting the juggernaut there. But this is where we have the conversation. Sagiri instantly went to help Genji, and this is why I'm saying I'm kind of liking him, where he went out in a better way. He started understanding Sagiri more when she said, it doesn't matter, man versus woman right now, I only care about a fellow student or a fellow colleague that is going to die. And he finally started understanding her, and even gives her his sword, as in his soul. That's what it signifies for a samurai, and finally starts seeing her as a samurai, saying kill Rokurota. And that was a very nice moment between them. Kind of sucks that he needed to die for him to finally acknowledge her over there, but I can still respect it, Genji, and even him when he pushed her away. He was a bit of an asshole, but he went out like a chump there. Now we have, again, like I said, Gabi was struggling, and Sagiri comes in and actually helps him a bit, chopping one of the fingers of Rokurota. And from here you can tell more and more that he's just a giant baby throwing a tantrum, and it's revealed how the Asaemon techniques work. They basically strike at the joints, the spaces between bones, for them to get that insane cutting ability over there with their executions, everything. That's how they do it. Extreme technique. Now they have to team up to go against him, but this was one of the most curious things in the episode. Yes, the fighting was awesome, but when you have Senta saying, hey, can you help, can you run, can you do something, and Yuzuriha made a very interesting comment. Are you sure you wanna do that? You're not really that type of person. Which made me even more suspicious of Senta and his personality. He seems like this well-mannered, calm guy helping you and things like. Even from when I saw him a few episodes ago, I'm like, there has to be something more to that guy. And this right now confirms more my suspicions. I'm really curious what his actual personality is going to be when he snaps or when he does something. And Yuzuriha more than Osim. Something to keep your eyes on. Senta, one of the most curious characters in the series right now. But we have them. Actually, this was the Attack on Titan reference. They needed to go after his neck, but it was too high. They had to bring him down for Sagiri to actually be able to cut him. So Gabi was the one distracting him, keeping his attention, deflecting his attacks, but it wasn't that easy. Even with the Asaemon technique, Sagiri was struggling because while he was moving, he was protecting his joints kind of at the same time, and she needed to calm herself, to immerse herself into the technique. This is why I kind of think this was a bit like Demon Slayer with the breathing technique. She calmed down, breathe slowly, inhale, exhale, clear your mind. But meanwhile, while she had to do that, Gabi even strained his leg, and they still needed to bring him down to strike. And this is where it was confirmed that yes, this was just a giant baby throwing a tantrum. So I don't think his mental capabilities were very high, or they're probably very low IQ for somebody even in this age. But he was very misunderstood, and we're gonna get to that even more when his stomach started growling and that scream kind of deafening them a bit, and he just picks up Gabi and slams him into the ground. He withstood that. Even he said, yes, this is fine, I can withstand this, but kind of realized that he took more damage than he expected from that started spitting blood. And I don't know if Gabi could have won this fight alone. Probably Rokurota was kind of his natural enemy in a way. He has more assassination techniques, and how are you gonna assassinate somebody this big, like a juggernaut here? Now Sagiri returns the favor, helps him in that situation, and she sees death, like that one punch man hit over there. But even in that situation, I really liked when she was still thinking, gotta stay calm, find the middle way. The same thing that Genji told her, I forgot to say that, your conviction is the middle way, kind of become like water. That's kind of what they personified here. Accept the concepts and strike, go with the flow a bit, don't go against it, go with the flow. And we have the breath technique, and she started deflecting his attacks, and even Gabimaru commented how strong she is now. I don't know if she's stronger than Gabimaru. Maybe when she's in this state, like this, the zone thing, she could put up a fight, but I still think Gabimaru would win against her. They're probably not gonna fight into the future, but I'm just thinking for my sake. We even had an power debate, power levels podcast episode, and it's still on my mind a bit. Make sure you check it out, because anime on YouTube or everywhere. But yeah, I don't know, but it's nice to see Sagiri in her form actually being able to fight over here, and it's even more amplified when Senta and Genji made a comment, Genji before dying, saying that ranks aren't just based on skill, they're also based on how well they can lead a clan into the future. And she was put down as the lowest rank because she was a woman, but in fact her skill with the sword, she's the best of the best, so that's why she was able to do that. She even almost got his neck, but he jumped back reflexively there, and he was like, they were like fighting a giant baby throwing a tantrum. And this is where we have Gabi coming up with a risky but brilliant idea, start setting fire with around everything there with his ascetic blaze mode to have him succumb to smoke inhalation there, to bring him down finally, to inhale way too much smoke. And they were helping each other during the fight, and this is where the moment comes, finally the moment of execution. Sagiri, calm, cool and collected, performing her duty, performs the execution. But what I saw here made me a bit sad, honestly, because even Rokurota kind of realized what was happening, and she realized, and kind of felt the same way as Tanjiro treats the demons when he kills them, gives them respect, acknowledges their lives and starts understanding them a bit more. Sagiri kind of did something similar. Now, I like that, but also made me sad seeing that Rokurota was very misunderstood. He was like a child that never fully developed mentally, but his body developed beyond his understanding. He kept killing people around him. He was always hungry. I'm not saying defending his actions, but it's kind of sad having somebody like that one, and he just wanted to play, somebody to understand him, and in his final moments somebody finally did, and he dies, rest in peace. And Sagiri took that burden on herself there, and at the same time also Genji died. So yeah, that was a beautiful and sad moment at the same time, and she apologized for her inexperience also, but I feel like she performed more than perfect over here. But now they had to run from there, from the fire, and she slowly started remembering all of her fellow Asaemon. More monsters were coming, getting attracted to the fire, which is kind of opposite of what animals usually do, but gives them the opportunity to go where the monsters were coming from. Gabi had the idea, and both of them reaffirming their determination. Gabi to get back to his wife, and her finding her conviction there, and their interests were finally aligned. Now I really like the dynamic between them. They're probably gonna work together more and more over here, even though she commented, "I'm still your monitor." But yeah, and they finally get to Yuzuriha and the Senta, and they were both shocked looking at something, and that's something when they also see is a village on the island, because yeah, we have a village right now. Apparently it's supposed to be Shinsenkai. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And make things even more curious. More and more questions are coming with the more we see, the more we discover about the island, the more questions are happening. But we kind of get a bit of answers, and then even more questions from Toma and Chobei, where they're fighting monsters, and Chobei was drinking them from nutrients. Who needs G Fuel when you got monsters on the island? And Toma saying they're supposed to be hermits, immortal hermits that lived in Shinsenkaio, but they discover something. Yeah, I did not expect that. You see this girl biting into that very luscious fruit over there, and then we have some lip action, which I'm like, okay, horny is on the island, more than definitely. And Chobei was shocked when he saw that, which I totally get it. You're fighting monster, and then you suddenly see some kissing action from are they like spirits, gods, angel in a way, because they seem like they're not humans, or from what that's what I'm getting from the aura they had around them. It feels like there's something else besides humans. So yeah, this episode was very interesting. Sagiri got a lot of character development in this one, their relationship over here, and towards the end, more and more questions. I'm really curious about next week. Here's what you guys thought about the episode, what I think about Sagiri so far, but mainly, what do you think about the ending of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Hell's Paradise. I'm gonna see you again in the next one. Bye bye.